Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. We're real big on community policing, caps24.org. And over 100,000 of you have watched shows on YouTube. Thank you so much. I hope you'll pick up your free copy of Jewish Chicago, where you can read about one of the Democratic candidates for U.S. Congress in the 10th District, and somebody who, in my opinion, has the best Israel stance of any of the candidates, and that is Elliot Richardson. How are you?
Wonderful to meet you. Thank you for having me on here, Avi.
My pleasure. And so you've been at it for a long time. I want to thank Eric Quintanilla for bringing you to my attention. And thank you so much. And he's been sending out all these press releases I've been reading up, and you've got some impressive stuff going. So why don't you tell us about it?
Sure. Eric does a wonderful job, and I want to thank him. You know what? We've got a great campaign going right now. We started the campaign some time ago. We've got a bunch of wonderful volunteers, wonderful interns, wonderful staff members working on the campaign. I myself am a civil rights attorney. I'm a small business owner. I've owned my small business for about 10 years. And, you know, our message is resonating, and that is really, we need to support small business. We need to, you know, the day of the citizen politician, I believe, is back. And that's somebody from outside the political process going to Washington and making a difference. And then, you know, moving on. And that's what I hope to bring and hope to inspire other people to do.
No, that sounds good. That sounds really good. How long, when did you actually start the campaigning?
You know, I started campaigning in April. So it was a very different field back in April. Mark Kirk was still the congressman. He hadn't decided to run for Senate. And we started building our coalition at that point. And since that time, we've been all over the district. Arlington Heights, Buffalo Grove, Waukegan, Glenview, you name it, we've been there talking to folks about, you know, why we're the best people to, why I'm the best candidate to represent them.
And no, you've definitely got some impressive credentials, that's for sure. So 24 hours a day you're out there?
Yes, we are out there 24 hours a day. You know, I'm running against some entrenched politicians, and they've got quite a bit of money. So the way that I reach people is going to the train stations, talking to them on the phone, going to their homes, going door to door, and explaining to them why the 10th District is so important and why I am the guy who can represent them. You know, I'm really looking to stimulate the economy with a new energy economy. I think we need a congressman from the 10th that is strong on Israel, and as you mentioned, that is one of my passions. It's at the core of who I am.
Yeah, and it is definitely by far, you know, it's funny because even though there's a Jewish candidate involved, I mean, I don't consider her stand on Israel very Jewish at all.
Right.
So,
well, we're both actually Jewish.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's
Yeah.
you know, two Jewish candidates in the Democratic primary, and I would agree.
I actually didn't realize that.
Yes. I grew up in Skokie. I was bar mitzvahed at B'nai Emunah.
Oh, you should tell me these things.
No, I'm sorry. Confirmed at Niles Township. I just got back from Israel, actually.
Okay.
My family, you know, we've always been very animate supporters of Israel.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the question is, are you going to stand up for Israel even if your party wants you to go the other direction? And when I go to Congress, I am going to be a voice for Israel. And on top of that, there's a war of ideas right now raging in the world when it comes to Israel. And you've got a lot of academics, a lot of folks in Europe, a lot of, you know, labor unions in England that want to divest from the Israeli economy, that want to boycott Israeli academics. We need to get the word out. We need to take a stand and say Israel is one of the greatest countries when it comes to science, when it comes to medicine, when it comes to medical facilities. And that is something that I think is crucial and something I want to do when I go to Congress.
That's really impressive, and I'll tell you this much. You just locked up Jewish Chicago's endorsement, that's for sure.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and that means a lot to me.
And, you know, this is you know, I didn't even know he was Jewish, guys. And I pride myself on my research.
Well, and you know, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's you know, what's good for Israel is good for America. We've got serious threats. We've got Iran, and we need to stand by Israel. And whether, you know, I think Jewish folks and non-Jewish folks can agree that Israel is the beacon of democracy right now in the Middle East, and we need to fight. We need to support Israel on all fronts.
There's no question about it. I think that's great. What, you know, I wish I had more time, but we're cramming 5-6 people on the show these days.
I know.
So where can people contact you? You tell us about your website, which is go to the website. There's a lot you can learn there.
Thank you so much. It's www.elliottforcongress.com. And we've got all our positions, all our stances on there, and we'd love to hear from you. If you have questions, contact our campaign. We are about representing the people.
And thank you very much, and good luck in the campaign. And if I was in the 10th District, I'd definitely be voting for you, and I urge all of you who are in the 10th District to vote for you in the 10th District Democratic Congressional race.
Thank you so much, Avi. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.